The population density of wild boars has exceeded permissible levels, posing a serious threat to forest ecosystems and nearby communities. They devastate vegetation, uproot soil damage, young tree roots, and cause soil erosion. Today's wild boar hunt is not merely a sporting event or a traditional festival, but part of an ecological management effort to control the booming wild boar population and protect the increasingly threatened forest ecosystem. Leave comment number 1 to learn more about this hunt. On a morning in a Hungarian forest, Chris Dorsey and his hunting team were ready at their ambush positions. They moved swiftly but silently, each member highly focused. Suddenly, a rustling sound came from nearby bushes. A massive wild boar charged out at terrifying speed. Gunshots rang out in rapid succession, precise and calculated. In an instant, the boar collapsed, unable to take another step. From other positions, more volleys of gunfire echoed each shot, carrying the responsibility of protecting the environment. Controlling the wild boar population is essential to safeguard the forest ecosystem, which is threatened by their excessive growth. In the distance, the barking of hunting dogs echoed through the air, signaling the location of another target. We followed the sound to a marked ambush point where Phoenix the hunting dog had pinpointed the prey. As expected, a wild boar was charging straight toward us. I carefully took aim, tracking its every step. With a single precise shot, the boar halted, ending its destructive rampage. As rain began to fall, we quickly sought shelter at our ambush positions, waiting for the prey to appear. This was the time when wild boars typically moved toward their shelters. As predicted, a herd of wild boars emerged, charging in formation at full speed. Waiting until they drew near, Liam swiftly pulled the trigger. The gunshot echoed through the tree canopy. In the end, he took down the lead boar, but the others quickly vanished deep into the forest. As the rain stopped, we immediately resumed tracking the remaining signs. Just 5 minutes later, the hunting dog's barks echoed from the thicket, signaling clearly. I halted, eyes straining to scan the surroundings. Suddenly, a wild boar charged out from the low foliage ahead. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle and fired rapidly. The boar, hit by the bullet, staggered and tumbled down the slope due to momentum. I whistled to call the dogs to locate the boar's body below. It was a swift, clean strike, leaving the prey no chance to escape. The sun still hung high as our hunting team ventured deeper into the forest. A herd of wild boars suddenly crossed our ambush path. A volley of gunshots rang out. Not every shot hit its mark, but several boars felt their escape cut short. The air shifted, nods were exchanged among us. Our steps grew lighter, carrying a quiet sense of triumph as we pressed through the dense underbrush. As the sunlight began to fade, we hurriedly tracked the remaining boars before darkness enveloped the forest. Suddenly, a dark shadow burst from the thicket right in front of me. Without hesitation, I pulled the trigger, but the shot wasn't enough to bring it down. The boar escaped. I quickly determined its direction and called out over the radio. "One's heading your way." Seconds later, a sharp, precise gunshot rang out, marking the final trophy of a long and grueling day of hunting. I never thought I'd have to pick up a gun and hunt wild boars until now. That was always a job for professional hunters. Me, I just wanted a peaceful life, growing corn, raising a few goats. But then the wild boars showed up, wrecking the fields right before harvest. Night after night, we heard them digging, crashing into fences, destroying everything. I couldn't take it anymore, and none of us could stand by and watch. In San Marcos, wild boars are now everyone's #1 enemy, so we decided to organize a hunt to deal with the problem. After a night of ravaging the fields, wild boars typically retreat into the forest to rest. We entered the woods at dawn, gripping our rifles tightly, brushing aside branches with our free hands. We followed the barking of the hunting dogs closely. Truth be told, this was all still new to me, so every step was cautious. I couldn't afford to slip up. Suddenly, a hunting dog flushed a wild boar out of the bushes. Without time to think, I raised my rifle and fired. The first shot was hasty, and the boar stumbled. With the dogs hot on its trail, it quickly tired. That was my chance. I fired again and claimed my first trophy. A few hundred meters later, I met up with Ashley, my teammate, on a gentle slope. Ashley pointed to the right. I followed her gaze and froze when I saw a massive wild boar lying nearby. Before I could react, the boar suddenly sprang up and charged straight at Ashley. In a split second, I shouted, "Watch out," and fired rapidly. Luckily, the gunshot startled it and it fled. Ashley and I watched the direction it escaped, our hearts pounding like they might burst. That was too close. That boar must have weighed at least 120 kg. A single charge could seriously injure or even kill an adult. Still shaken from the encounter, Ashley and I soon spotted another wild boar just as massive. This time we were more cautious. We split up, taking positions on either side, rifles aimed forward. As the boar charged between us, the air erupted with rapid gunfire. It should have been the perfect moment to take down another menace, but everything happened too fast. The boar, reaching speeds up to 40 km/h, bolted down the slope and vanished. Undeterred, Ashley and I pressed on, scouring the area. Before long, the hunting dog's barks echoed from the northwest. No words were needed, we both knew what that sound meant. After being charged by one boar and letting another slip away, Ashley was brimming with determination. He surged forward and with a single precise shot took down the boar lurking in the bushes. By mid-afternoon, the dogs were still in high spirits. I had to say I was proud of them. Not only were they good at sniffing out wild boars, they were also good at exhausting their prey when they were chased. Now it was my job to finish the job. A shot rang out and another wild boar fell. I didn't know if it was luck or not, but even though they were only single boars, each one was large and plump. This one must have weighed at least 100 kilos. It looked like it had been chased to the point of exhaustion and it didn't have the strength to defend against our guns. I aimed right at the back of its head and shot without hesitation. The boar fell right there. At another clearing, Ashley and I spotted more wild boars. This time, we quietly split up and took ambush positions. I gripped my rifle tightly, eyes locked on the bushes ahead. Unable to wait any longer, I fired a shot to lure the prey out. It took the bait, and there was only one outcome: the boar charged out and dropped to the ground. News of wild boars destroying the villagers' crops has been mounting. They're growing bolder and more cunning by the day. That's why we decided to leave the safety of our homes armed with rifle supplies and razor-sharp caution, stepping into a perilous hunt. As always, we began with a careful survey of the terrain. This time, the forest edge, the fragile boundary between open land and dense wilderness, was where we chose to set our ambush.
Good shot.
I stood just outside the forest's edge, eyes locked on the dense wall of trees ahead. Early morning is when wild boars forage, so it wasn't long before a massive dark-colored boar appeared. It had no idea it was being watched. Step by step, it drew closer, completely at ease, as if it owned the entire forest. I sat motionless for nearly 30 minutes, blending into the surroundings. Gripping my rifle tightly, I aimed just behind its front shoulder. Taking a deep breath, my finger rested on the trigger. The boar collapsed almost instantly. That shot was a clean kill, likely hitting the heart or lungs. I'm not sure which, but I know it didn't suffer long. I crept closer, hiding behind a bush near the forest edge. The spot offered a clear view, but the wind shifted and wild boars have keen ears. Even with a whole herd in front of me, I didn't dare make a sound. My finger rested lightly on the trigger. Suddenly, one boar bolted, scattering the rest. No matter, I'd meet them again deeper in the forest. Have you ever had to deal with invasive wild boars? If so, leave comment number 2, if not, leave Truster 5. We ventured deeper into the forest. Within 5 minutes, a herd of wild boars suddenly appeared. They were too fast and the angle wasn't right. After a few missed shots, we gave up the chase. Deeper in the woods, the air was now a mix of excitement and tension. While hiding behind a tree, another boar emerged about 10 meters away. Without time to think, I raised my rifle and fired. Swift and clean, another one down. I kept moving, kept searching. Then I heard the hunting dogs barking fiercely nearby. I followed the sound to a narrow trail flanked by dense bushes on both sides. A boar could charge from any direction. I stayed on high alert. Suddenly a sound, or maybe a gut feeling, made me spin around quickly, rifle raised. Seconds later, the boar appeared. One precise shot and it collapsed mid-trail motionless. Skill or instinct, I'm not sure. Maybe both. But I know a faint noise saved that moment. Believe it or not, I ran into another herd of wild boars. The adrenaline from the last encounter hadn't even faded, and now it surged again. I had only a few seconds to shoot before they changed direction and vanished. I hit at least one. Not the best outcome, but not the worst either. Standing near the path, I focused on the trail ahead where the boars were charging through. A few more shots rang out and the story continued. Wild boars, massive beasts weighing up to 300 pounds with tusks, as sharp as razors, devastate grasslands, attack people and livestock, and cause millions of dollars in damage each year. Traps and fences are useless against these relentless invaders. There's only one way to stop them: hunt them down in their lairs within treacherous swamps. Only the boldest hunters dare confront them face to face. This hunt was more dangerous than ever. We ventured deep into the wild boars' territory where they cunningly hid in the dense forest. To avoid being ambushed, we brought along a pack of well-trained hunting dogs. They tracked the scent swiftly and signaled the moment prey was near. In this mission, the dogs weren't just tracking tools, they were our eyes, ears, and first line of defense.
Bravo.
Today, Bernie and I entered a particularly dangerous area where tall grass provided perfect cover for wild boars. The team split up and moved to our assigned positions. Just 10 minutes into the search, the hunting dogs barked fiercely from a thicket. We locked our eyes on the source of the sound, tracking every movement. Suddenly, a massive wild boar charged out of the grass, heading straight for Bernie. Without delay, we opened fire. Shots rang out in rapid succession, and the boar collapsed in the tall grass. We climbed more than 2 miles through rugged terrain, following tracks between jagged rocks and thick moss. This was no longer farmland, it was untouched wilderness. 800 acres of dense forest were infested with ferocious wild boars. This time they had caught our scent. The trail was clear, uprooted saplings, sticky mud, and pig droppings strewn across the ground like threatening challenges. The herd was enormous, perhaps larger than any we had encountered before and more cunning than any we had encountered on the plains. These beasts had survived the hail of bullets and were faster and more responsive than ever. Our ambush, therefore, had to be absolutely perfect. We chose a narrow gap between 2 hills, barely 50 yards of open ground. Then we waited motionless, eyes fixed, ears strained, ready for the decisive moment. As soon as we reached the hunting spot, the first hog loomed 250 pounds ears, swiveling body taut as a bowstring. Then the others followed, 12, 15, a huge herd. They moved slowly, cautiously, as if they sensed danger. Our breathing was silky. Our fingers hovered over the triggers, our radios went dead silent. Then we fired. The first shot took 3 of them. The herd panicked, broke apart, and splintered, zigzagging, scattering, hiding behind rocks and bushes. But the pigs weren't running around haphazardly. They listened, reacting sharply to the echoes of the gunfire. Some turned abruptly while others froze behind trees or slipped silently into the shadows. "Keep going." "There's movement behind us," Mark shouted. I spun just in time to catch a pig sneaking around the bushes looking to ambush us. These beasts weren't just running away, they were learning to fight. After the heart-pounding encounter, we quickly resumed tracking the next target. In the distance, the silhouette of a wild boar emerged, slowly moving through thick grass in search of food. We didn't shoot immediately, instead taking cover carefully in the bushes, waiting for it to draw closer. Then gunshots echoed across the swamp. Each shot was swift and precise, bringing down the ferocious beast. This place is a true paradise for wild boars with abundant food all around. Just 15 minutes later, Silas spotted a target. The boar charged out from tall reeds but quickly fell after his precise shot. We chose a good vantage point using binoculars to scan the area. There they were, a herd of wild boars foraging on the forest floor, completely unaware. A gunshot rang out and one dropped. The rest scattered in a frenzy. This was a fight for lives, ours, our families, and our neighbors, so we never let our guard down, not for a second. Standing there, the gun still hot, looking down at the motionless beast in the dust. I knew one thing for sure, the battle might be over, but the fight for our homeland was still going on. The mountain air was colder than we had expected, cutting sharply into our lungs as we quietly made our way through the dense pine forest near the border. In the stillness of the palm thicket, Bernie quietly tracked another target. A boar emerged from behind a palm trunk. Bernie raised his rifle, aimed carefully, and pulled the trigger. Perfect. A single, precise shot. The boar dropped on the spot, unable to react. One shot was all it took to bring it down. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Please support us with a like and follow. Goodbye and see you in the next videos. Hello everyone. In the United States, tensions with invasive leopards have escalated to alarming levels. Reports indicate that in 2024 alone, there were over 150 encounters with leopards, with most attacks recorded at night between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. Are you ready to learn more about leopards? If so, please leave a comment with the number 1. In another incident on May 10, 2024, a leopard strayed into a suburban residential area in Colorado, causing property damage to residents. The stealthy presence and sudden appearances of these predators have created a tense atmosphere, further highlighting the need to implement enhanced safety measures to protect people from these potential dangers. American hunters collaborate with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and conservation organizations to protect communities from these predators. These alliances provide essential infrastructure and weapons expertise needed for effective leopard population control. Typically, hunters operate in teams of 4 to 6 people. This strategic approach ensures safety and close coordination while increasing success rates. Studies show this group size yields a success rate over 50% higher in capturing leopards compared to larger or smaller groups. Hunters in the United States must obtain specialized licenses, including big game hunting licenses and rare leopard hunting permits typically issued by state wildlife agencies. These licenses cost between $800 and $2,000 depending on state regulations and are mandatory for legal hunting. To acquire these permits, hunters must complete rigorous wildlife conservation and hunting ethics certification programs, ensuring that hunting is conducted legally and responsibly. In 2024 alone, over 1,800 permits were issued nationwide, reflecting the stringent regulatory framework and the urgent need for hunters to stay informed and adapt to evolving guidelines to ensure compliance in these critical hunting activities. Over the past 3 years, more than 350 cases have been reported of hunters unexpectedly encountering leopards while hunting. These unforeseen encounters occurring in dense forests not only test tracking skills, but also challenge hunters' courage and ability to respond quickly. Although no hunters have been injured, these incidents highlight the unpredictable and dangerous nature of these predators. To address the increasing number of leopard encounters, government agencies have established temporary bait stations and monitoring tents in areas of Montana and Arizona where leopard sightings have surged. Have you ever experienced issues with invasive leopards? If yes, please leave a comment with the number 2. If not, leave a 5. Decoy prey and carcasses of deer or wild boars are hung on sturdy tree branches, simulating natural hunting scenarios to lure leopards into view. Hunters are strategically positioned 80 to 160 yards away, using binoculars and high-resolution cameras to closely observe before taking action. This approach allows them to track and pinpoint the right moment to act, ensuring an effective and safe hunt. Hunters must report successful leopard management activities to their team or local wildlife agencies, including details such as time, location, and circumstances. This practice, mandated by U.S. wildlife agencies, not only promotes transparency, but also supports responsible wildlife management. It ensures that all hunting activities comply with conservation regulations while contributing to the implementation of sustainable environmental practices. As efforts to manage leopard encounters intensify, attention has shifted to another formidable predator, wolves. Helicopter wolf hunting has become a key method for controlling wolf populations in Montana since March 2002, offering advantages in wide visibility and rapid mobility. This technique allows hunters to access remote areas and cover vast expanses of rugged terrain with success rates ranging from 20 to 35 wolves managed per hunt. This method has led to a 22% reduction in livestock attacks in rural areas of Montana. Additionally, revenue from wolf hunting contributes to the local economy and funds wildlife conservation programs supporting sustainable conservation efforts. Ultimately, leopard hunting must be conducted responsibly and in compliance with strict regulations. Reducing leopard populations in densely populated areas can help mitigate human-wildlife conflicts while protecting property and ensuring community safety. However, tight oversight is essential to prevent overhunting, which could lead to population declines and disrupt ecological balance. Therefore, using accurate data and conducting regular assessments of leopard populations are critical to ensuring that hunting does not harm the species or affect the stability of the natural ecosystem. However, the use of firearms for leopard hunting is not only about reducing threats, but also about managing their population to minimize human-wildlife conflicts. Controlling leopard numbers in densely populated areas can help reduce attacks and protect farmers' property. However, overhunting can lead to serious environmental consequences. When leopard populations decline excessively, it can cause ecological imbalances and negatively impact other species within the ecosystem.
It's literally like a freaking lion. Whoa.
This underscores the critical need for thorough preparation and skill training to handle emergency situations in these harsh conditions. In each hunt, hunters must be at least 18 years old and fully equipped with the necessary skills to ensure safety in all scenarios. Participating hunters must also have no criminal record. Respecting wildlife and adhering to regulations ensures that hunting is not only safe, but also contributes positively to conservation efforts and community welfare. Please support our channel with a like and subscribe. Goodbye and see you in the next video. African elephants, particularly the South African bush elephant, are among the most iconic symbols of Africa's ecosystem with their massive size and impressive strength. They are commonly found in the vast savannas and dense forests of South Africa, such as Kruger National Park and Addo Elephant National Park, where they play a crucial role in maintaining environmental balance. With their large ears and long tusks, South African bush elephants not only easily find food and water, but also communicate with each other through distinctive sounds. Are you excited to learn more about these giant elephants? If so, please leave the number 1 in the comments below. They travel in herds, exhibiting complex social behaviors and caring for one another, especially the young. The presence of South African bush elephants in the ecosystem helps maintain biodiversity by creating clearings for other plant species to grow and altering the structure of their habitat. However, they face numerous threats, including habitat loss due to agricultural expansion and poaching for their ivory, making the conservation of South African bush elephants an urgent task to protect the region's biodiversity. Currently, the population of South African bush elephants is estimated at around $14,000, primarily concentrated in areas such as Kruger National Park, Lulua Imfolozi Game Reserve, and private reserves in South Africa. Understanding their distribution and habits is crucial for creating an engaging and informative documentary about their impact and interactions in these regions. Join us to explore the formidable challenges posed by elephants and learn about effective strategies for managing these giants. In South Africa, elephants have caused significant agricultural damage with an annual financial impact of approximately $2 million. These majestic creatures, while an incredible sight, pose a serious threat to farming communities. Specific crops such as maize yams and fruit trees are highly vulnerable to elephant incursions. The destruction of crops not only disrupts the local economy but also threatens the livelihoods of thousands of farmers who depend on these sources of income. The movement of elephants has led to significant traffic disruptions, causing congestion in rural areas near reserves. These large elephants can suddenly appear on roads, leading to traffic delays. Their presence on roadways not only inconveniences drivers but also poses serious hazards to motorists. The sudden appearance of such large creatures can result in accidents threatening human lives. At the same time, the elephants themselves are at risk of injury or death from vehicle collisions. Is hunting elephants with firearms the optimal solution? If you support this, leave a comment with the number 2. If you oppose it, comment with the number 5 to share your perspective. By 2023, efforts to manage invasive elephants in South Africa have yielded significant results. The number of elephant-related damage incidents decreased from approximately 1,200 to 800 per year. Each control operation is a formidable challenge requiring at least 4 experts to coordinate in response to the elephant's immense strength. Instead of using direct lethal methods, they often employ tranquilizer darts from a distance of 150 feet, relying on agility and reflexes to ensure safety. This decision optimizes effectiveness in the unpredictable wilderness, but also places experts in dangerous situations where a single mistake could lead to serious risks. Managing invasive elephants requires not only technical skill but also absolute precision. Experts must thoroughly understand elephant behavior, often focusing on relocation or, when necessary, selectively targeting the most aggressive individuals. However, even a well-aimed tranquilizer shot may not guarantee immediate effectiveness. Multiple coordinated steps may be required to ensure safety, especially when confronting aggressive elephants charging at alarming speeds. Experience and composure are critical factors determining success or risk in these life-or-death moments. To prepare for managing invasive elephants, experts undergo intensive training courses organized by South African conservation agencies such as SANParks. In the perilous wilderness, they face lions, leopards, and numerous other threats. Quick reflexes, patience, and creativity are key to completing the mission. These courses not only teach management techniques but also forge mental resilience, enabling experts to stay composed in unexpected situations. This is where guardians of the ecosystem are trained to protect communities. To participate in elephant management, experts must hold a permit issued by South African conservation authorities and be at least 21 years old. The management season from June to October is the most intense period when elephant incursions peak. Thanks to supervised control measures, the number of elephant-related damage incidents near tourist areas has significantly decreased, bringing peace of mind to residents. However, a controversial question remains: do these measures truly balance human protection with animal welfare? During the management season, experts and communities strictly adhere to regulations prohibiting any impact on pregnant elephants or calves, demonstrating environmental responsibility. Each year, only about 100 invasive elephants are permitted to be managed, typically through relocation or selective culling under the close supervision of conservation authorities. Patrol teams continuously monitor to ensure no violations occur. This transparent process helps maintain ecological balance, protect biodiversity, and reinforce confidence that South Africa is not only controlling invasive elephants but also safeguarding the future of its wild ecosystems.
Yep. Stay.
Violating elephant management regulations in South Africa carries severe consequences. From hefty fines and permanent permit revocation to legal prosecution, authorities show no leniency toward those who break the rules. This strict enforcement not only deters misconduct but also sends a strong message about the commitment to protecting nature. As a result, communities trust the management system, ensuring that efforts to control invasive elephants are carried out fairly and sustainably. Therefore, it is crucial to develop strategies that not only minimize the damage caused by elephants, but also ensure their welfare, promoting sustainable coexistence between humans and elephants. If you have ideas for more effective and humane methods to protect these magnificent creatures, please share them in the comments below. Thank you for watching our video. Please follow our channel for more engaging and informative content. Your opinions and support are greatly valued by us.